All right, looks like we're live. We are live. Welcome, Kareen. Welcome to tonight's call. It's awesome to have you all here, whether you're on Zoom, whether you're on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube or any of the other platforms that we're streaming on. I'm excited as always. I was up till like 8 in the morning, just masterminding with some really amazing leaders. And it's really awesome to see how technology is able to connect us all. I mean, we're all in different locations. And with that being said, I would love to figure out where you guys are calling in from. So if you could in the chat below, just drop your state, your city, your country, whether you're here on Zoom or any of the other platforms, just drop it down below so we can figure out how wide and vast our audience is getting. We're currently in 14 countries. I believe we're about to be in another 15 or in our 15th country. Awesome. Queensland, Australia, Singapore, Vancouver, Canada. That's 3 countries right there. Just some of the people that have commented below. So it's awesome that technology is able to help us connect, and we got some really amazing things that are in the works. I'm not going to spoil them yet because we like to just surprise you with all of the new developments that are happening as we release them. And so it's awesome. We're constantly trying to figure out how to push the envelope, how to be innovative, and how to do things differently. And really, what we're doing here at Divinfi has never been done. And as you're kind of navigating this unknown territory, there are obviously going to be some, hiccups and stuff like that. We're not perfect, and we're not claiming to be, and that's the beauty of it. We're testing different things out, and we're trying to figure out what's the most streamlined way to make this just number one, duplicatable for everyone, and then number two, accessible to everyone all around the world. And it was interesting because Tui was talking about some of his people in I think you said Fiji and Tonga, like they don't even have a banking system, right? Like they don't even have a banking system. So like, that's crypto. Crypto is a solution for a lot of these people in these different countries around the world where banking isn't so accessible, right? Like he was telling me like they have to go drive into town, go to the bank so they can send a payment. So crypto eliminates a lot of these things. And so I'm excited for what we're creating. I mean, really just bringing freedom to the entire world. And so with that being said, I'm going to get into the information today. We have a new presentation that just got done, but I didn't like the colors. So I was like, hey, can you make this a little bit different? So we'll send that presentation to you guys to use as well. But let's get into tonight's info. So if you're watching this for the first time ever, I want to welcome you to the biggest launch in history. Some of our amazing leaders that are on this call, they really see what's happening. They have this depth of vision, and they're really just leading the way. So I just want to thank you all that have taken the leap of faith and are just on this mission with us. All of our awesome leaders all around the world. I want to thank the everyone behind the scenes. Mr. Jamie Devine, that's just putting a lot of work in the background. Mr. Will Galendez, who's also putting a lot of work in the background, and the rest of the team that are just making magic happen. So, with that being said, our mission here at Divinfi is to create freedom and to create an ecosystem for all 8 billion people here on Earth. And so we want to help people have financial, time, location, and emotional freedom. And the reason why this is so important is because, and I know this from firsthand experience, I remember when I was younger, I wanted to, have the money. I wanted to be able to travel and all this stuff, which is great. It's an awesome goal to have. But what happened to me was after earning my first 6 figures at the age of 18 and being able to travel, I went to like I think 48 or 47 states in the US by like 19 years of age, and then several countries and stuff like that. I realized that, it's not just about being able to travel and have money and all these things. Those are great, but there are other factors. For example, time freedom. I might have been able to do all that stuff, but I didn't really have much time. I was working a lot. I was working 80 hours a week, was losing my health. And then fast forward to June 2023, after traveling 25 different countries, generating millions and millions of dollars for myself, and helping other people do the same, I realized that I needed the emotional freedom to be able to really hold that and to sustain it and to even just value it, right? Because I remember there was times where like I was like, okay, what's the point of all this? And in the end of last year, I'd say around November, my just things were going haywire, right? Like I didn't really work much, maybe like 5, 6 hours the entire time I was traveling. At the time I was traveling all over Southeast Asia. And I remember like not really feeling fulfilled, right? I was just earning income without fulfillment. I was in a marriage that was not fulfilling either. And I started to experience a lot of anxiety, depression, panic attacks. I'd wake up every morning like not being able to breathe. And it got to the point where I was literally suicidal, which is not something I've ever experienced before. So, after going through all that, I knew that things had to change. And humans, a lot of the times we're motivated and we're forced to move by two things. Either desperation, meaning you get to a point where you're so desperate that you have to do something different, or inspiration, right? Like you're so inspired that you want to go out there and create. I was motivated by desperation, and it got to the point where I really had to get very desperate. It took me almost jumping off the 48th story of my house. It took me going to jail. It took me going through a divorce. All of these things for me to be humbled and to be like, this is not what life is about. There's something deeper. And so I ended up meeting this gentleman right here. His name is Don Smith. He's created a absolutely amazing transformational program, which some of you on this call went and did last night for some of you in the States. And this program is by far one of the most impactful things that I've ever done. And I've done lots, right? Like thousands of books that I read and audiobooks and transformational workshops and leadership workshops and seminars and the Tony Robbins and the Eric Worre's and the energy work and the mushrooms and all of the things, the breath work. I got certified, all of these things. And none of it ever helped me truly break free from the toxic programs and patterns and self-sabotaging programs that 99.999% of us are operating from. So I did this session with Don, and in 2 hours, all of the things I was dealing with completely gone. All the addictions, addicted to marijuana, addicted to sex, addicted to money and travel and people pleasing and validation, all of those things completely gone within 2 hours. And so Don has only really worked with the elite of the elite, like billionaires and athletes at the Olympic level. And some people have paid this guy $1 million just to do a 2 hour session. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about what happens. I'll give you some numbers for those logical folks. And so this chart right here is called the chart of consciousness that was created by Dr. David Robert Hawkins. And Dr. Hawkins states that all the emotions are on a level of consciousness, a certain level of calibration. So that they vibrate at a certain frequency, right? So you can use these all interchangeably. So at the very bottom of the chart is shame, and at the very top is enlightenment. So it goes from 0 to 1,000. Shame being a 20, fear being 100, courage is 200, and enlightenment is anywhere between 700 to 1,000. Okay, so a guy named Hitler, which we all know, he was operating at a level of 50. Okay. 80% of the world's population is underneath this red line right here. 80% is underneath here. And this is actually where truth and integrity start. And 80% of the whole world is actually underneath this red line. And most people are actually operating out of fear, right? They're not operating from a place of peace or enlightenment. They're operating out of fear. They're doing the things that they do on a day-to-day basis because they are afraid they're gonna lose, their home, or they're gonna die, or whatever, right? And so if you look at all the great teachers, whether it's Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Zoroaster, any of these great teachers, they were at 1,000. And so what they taught and what their message was that you and I's natural state is one of enlightenment. And what is enlightenment? It's simply just your true you. That is who you truly are, your authentic self. So, to put it clearly and simply, I was operating at a level 125, maybe a 200 sometimes, max. And in this 2-hour session, Dawn was able to help me go from 125 to a 700, just like some of you on this call, right? So we have a lot of people on this call that have gone through the process just yesterday or this morning or whatever. And so it's really amazing what happens. And to give you an image of what happens, imagine you're at the very bottom of the sea or the ocean, and you have an anchor attached to you. You have an anchor attached to you, and you're trying to swim to the top. You swim 30% up, and the anchor drags you back down. You swim 30% up, and it drags you back down. So what Don does is he helps you get to the very first moment in time, the very first trauma where you started to play small. And he helps you release it. So now you can actually go to the top of the ocean, which is enlightenment. Okay, very simple. So it's one of those things that after I did the process, so many things changed for me. Like I said, anxiety gone, depression gone, suicidal thoughts, panic attacks, addictions gone. My business, my other business, which is in the real estate sector, started to boom. Like I'm starting to get all these deals without even trying to build it. So the reason why this happens is because you're now in that state of allowing everything that's meant for you to come in. You end up being at the right place at the right time with the right people. And that is why a lot of you guys that have done the program are attracted to this ecosystem that we've created, because you're now at this level of consciousness where you can accept it. And so I just want to give a big shout out again to all of you guys that are the trailblazers of this, because where we're going to be in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months is going to look so much different. And you guys are going to be the true leaders of this ecosystem. So really big shout out to you guys. I'm honored to be with you. And so let's move forward. So if you want to do Dawn's process, we do Tuesdays for new clients and Thursdays for people that have already gone through the process and that are wanting to continue to hold the high level of consciousness, which is easy to give it up, right? I've done it before. Some of you have probably done it before. So it's really important to stay in proximity and to continue to hold this high level of consciousness, because for me, my first moment in time was when I was in my mother's womb. So I had been doing this self-sabotaging program for 30 years. So you need to make sure that you're holding that neurocellular muscle, you're strengthening it, right? So make sure to keep going. And so let's get into the next part. So whenever you join Divinfi, you're not just joining a company You're joining a community that's dedicated to your mutual success and helping you step into your infinite power. So nowadays, AI is on the rise, and people are utilizing ChatGPT. They're using Teslas, right? In Tesla, they have an AI where it's able to actually drive you from and to work or wherever, right? So they trust AI so much that they're willing to take their hands off the steering wheel and they just let it go, right? So with Apollo, our AI, you can now earn money the same way where you can take your hands off the steering wheel and you can allow it to grow your bank account hands free. The way that it works is you API your crypto exchange. So what that means is it's just a simple connection where the developer can see your money, the funds, they can trade your funds, but they cannot withdraw your funds. So I know a lot of people, like I was talking to this lady, she was in Pennsylvania. She was on our call. And she's like, yeah, like it sounds great, but I've done some crypto stuff in the past and I got scammed. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of people get scammed in these crypto Ponzi's. The difference is that when you are utilizing Apollo, you have 100% control of your funds at all times. So nobody has access to your funds but you. You're not sending your funds off to the company and having them trade. You have 100% control at all times. You can withdraw at all times. You can top it up whenever. So that's the difference. And we're actually using a real AI that's using machine learning. So it's only getting better and better over time. And so it's really awesome what it's able to do. The minimum deposit to use Apollo was $100,000. But when we talked to the developer, we're like, hey, we want to open this up to our community. Can you get it down? He's like, okay, 10,000. We're like, dude, that's not gonna work. And so he got it down to 1,000 minimum USD. So if you start with 1,000 minimum USD, your account the range that we saw was it was doing anywhere between 20 and 50% returns a month. Okay, so in the last 3 weeks, a little bit over 3 weeks, it's done 51%. So could it do more than 50%? Sure. Could it do less than 20%? Yeah. We're not guaranteeing anything, and that's just what it is. Like whenever it comes to investing, there is a risk, right? There is a risk when it comes to investing. Just know that only risk what you're willing to lose. But based off of what we've seen, the average has been about 28% over the last couple of years. Okay, so just to kind of clarify, past performances are not indicative of future results. So only risk what you're willing to lose. But based off of everything I've personally seen, this is probably the best AI. And this is the only true AI that I've ever really witnessed, and it being available to people like you and I. So let's talk about compounding. Compounding is absolutely amazing. And especially with today's day and age, it's super important. I'm going to show you guys something that I think will really blow your mind. So if you guys can see my screen, just give me a 111 in the chat below. Just that way I know that you guys can see it. All right, awesome. So let me show you this compounding calculator. So it's going to show you how much your money will grow if you were to compound your investment. So let's start with the minimum. Okay, so $1,000 initial investment. And one thing I forgot to note is whatever profit you make, let's say it was the 20% in the month. You need to split that with the developer. So it's a 50-50 split. So if it's $1,000 earning 20% a month, let's say it did 200, so it did $200, $200 hands-free. You would take 50%, which is $100. The developer would take 50%, which is $100. And so you'd be left with 10%. Okay, very simple. So let's do 10% a month, and we'll compound it for 5 years. Okay, so let me show you this. So if you started with 1,000, it would take you 8 months to double it, to double your money, to go from 1,000 to 2,000. It would take you 8 months. And what would happen after 5 years? You would do 30,348%, and you would essentially have $304,481.64. And that's just at 10%. And this is the power of compounding. And this is why Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. Okay, so the reason why this is important is because the state of the world is going to shit right now, right? Like hyperinflation is on the rise. You got the US dollar losing about 1% every single month, right? So in 1 year, you would lose about 12% in purchasing power. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, whether you're in Canada or Mexico or the Philippines or Europe, all of your currencies are actually pegged to the US dollar. Sorry, guys, one sec. Let me just plug in my laptop before it dies. Okay. All right, awesome. So yeah, it doesn't matter because it's all pegged to the US dollar. So it's all being affected. So if you were to go to the grocery store, you probably notice that the cost of goods is going up. But that's not actually true. What's happening is the money is worth less. So now they have to put the grocery items, they have to raise the prices. That's how inflation works. So the minimum that you need to be earning on your money is at least 1% a month to basically offset inflation. And we're talking about 10% a month. So 10 times what inflation is doing. And because having your money in a savings account is probably the worst thing that you could do right now. It's literally just losing value every single month. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily have to be Apollo, but find something that's doing at least 1% monthly. So let's talk about being an entrepreneur and an investor. So this guy right here, his name is Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote a couple of books. His first book was called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Second book was called Cash Flow Quadrant. And his third book, which I highly recommend reading all three, was called The Business of the 21st Century. And we'll talk about what was the business he was talking about. It's actually what we're working on. That is the business that he believes is going to take over the 21st century. So we'll talk about that here in just a moment. So as an employee, let's just say you work at a smoothie shop, right? So you have a job, you work 8 hours, you get paid for 8 hours. Okay? You trade your time for money. So let's say one day you're like, oh my God, I love this smoothie shop. Maybe I should own one. You go take out a loan. You now have a smoothie store. You are now self-employed. Okay, so you don't have a job anymore, but you own a job because you are the lifeblood of the business. If you're no longer there, your business will die. So the left side of the quadrant is basically where 95% of the world lives, and you get paid off of active income. Now, the right side is where you get paid off of passive income, and only 5% of the world gets paid off of passive income, and they create 95% of the wealth. So the goal is to go from the left side to the right side. So as a business owner, you can think about it in a few different ways. So you guys all know McDonald's, right? McDonald's is a franchise. They have a system. So that's what a big business owner utilizes. They use systems so they can essentially save themselves the time, energy, and money, right? So that's why with McDonald's, you can have a 16-year-old run a whole McDonald's because they have a system. You have to flip the patties this way. You got to mop this way. They literally have a system for every single thing that they do. So that's why it costs you about $1.2 million to even just open up and do the franchise for McDonald's, because they have like a for sure way of how you can actually create income with a McDonald's. You could just invest into it, hire the staff, hire the employees, they have the systems in place, and then there's a guaranteed income. Okay. Now, another way you could think about it is let's take a guy like Elon Musk. He has a system in his company, right? So let's say he has 10,000 employees. These employees all work 8 hours a day. So you multiply 10,000 employees times 8 hours. He's leveraging 80,000 man hours per day. So a system is where you're leveraging other people's time and efforts. And then as an investor, you're still leveraging, but you're not leveraging people, you're leveraging your money. So the goal is to move from the left side to the right side. And we're going to show you how you can basically have a system and leverage other people's time and efforts, number one. And number two, how you can leverage your money, which we talked about with Apollo. That's a way that you can become an investor. Okay, so we're going to focus on the business owner side and how you can create a system, or you can already plug into our system that we've created for you, and you can start to leverage your time and energy and get paid basically, whenever. So, like I said, 95% of the world uses active income, 5% use passive income. And so if you want to get access to Dawn's transformation and to the Apollo AI, it's a one-time payment of $149 startup, meaning the first month, and then it's $99 per month. Okay. So let's say you get really, really excited. Your account is growing. You're experiencing this amazing level of consciousness from Don's program. You're going to want to share with people, right? And so if you want to get your membership for free, all you have to do is refer 3 people and your membership is completely free. Okay, very awesome. So now we're going to talk about the partnership program. And so we want to share the revenue with you guys. And so instead of investing millions and millions of dollars into commercials and billboards and the traditional way of marketing, what we do is we share it with you guys to spread the message via word of mouth. Okay, so this industry that we're in is in the network marketing industry. So it's one of the most paid industries in the world. It's over $200 billion a year. And that was like a few years ago when I saw, so it's probably higher now. And so here in this industry and then in our company or our ecosystem, I should say, there's an infinite income potential. You can earn anywhere from $100 a month all the way up to $4 million a month. Absolutely amazing. Now, you can also earn a weekly residual income, meaning you get paid every single week, no matter what. Okay, and so just as long as you've met certain qualifications. And so if you want to think about the traditional way of earning residual income, you could think about like real estate, right? So real estate that's actually what my other business is in. And so we'll take the traditional model. Let's say you take $250,000 from the bank, you buy a house, your mortgage is $1,500, and then you have someone rent your place for $2,000. Now you're earning $500 in residual income every single month. That's one way. And I'm going to show you a way easier way and a way better model for you to earn residual income where you can build it one time and you can get paid over and over and over and over again, if not forever. Okay, so the third point is that there are no qualifications or experiences needed. Does not matter if you even finished high school. Doesn't matter if you went to Yale. Does not matter if you went to jail. Okay, and I've been to jail and I barely finished high school. I remember at one point I was literally drinking alcohol like 3-4 times a day, right? Like my blood alcohol levels was probably higher than my GPA. So it does not matter. And I'm just saying this because if I could do this, then you can too, right? It does not matter about if you failed or you didn't fail, or if you were the top of your class or if you're at the bottom of your class. Every single person on this call, every single person on this planet has the same equal opportunity to do whatever they want to do in the system. So the last thing is that there are team building incentives. So you're in business for yourself here, but you're not in business by yourself. You literally have the whole community, the whole system to help support you to get to where you want to be. We were literally doing these calls minimum twice a day. So you just plug into the system and we help you get to where you want to be. So let's talk about the compensation and how you can create residual income. Okay, so there are some qualifications I'm going to explain real quick. So there's a rank name. This would be like your corporate role. There's the network size. And if you ask any business owner, it doesn't matter what industry, whether they're selling cars, whether they are on a subscription model of meal plans or whatever, the whole goal is to create a network of clients. That's how you get paid. Now, there's personal referrals. These are the people that you personally refer. And then there's 3 ways you get paid. There's a weekly payout, which gets paid out every Friday. There's a one-time rank bonus, which gets paid out at the end of the month. And then there's the direct bonus, which you get paid normally $50 per membership. But until we're done with pre-launch, you're going to get paid $100. So we doubled it up. So normally you'd get 50. Now you're getting 100. Okay, pretty awesome. So let's say you want to hit inviter. The way you hit inviter is you need to refer 2 people personally. So let's say it's your mom and your dad. You have a left team and you have a right team. The goal is to even out the numbers, have a certain amount of memberships per team, right team, left team. Okay. So let's say you have one on your left team, one on your right team. It's your mom and your dad. And then let's say your dad refers somebody. You have 2 on your left, 1 on your right, or it could be 2 on your right, 1 on your left. You have 3 total. 2 came from you. You're getting paid $25 a week, which is $100 a month. And then you can't forget also that you're getting $100 per person that you refer. So let's say you did that in your first month. You just earned 100 times 2 for the personal referrals. That's $200. And then on the weekly payout, you're getting paid 100. So that's 300 total that you got paid. Okay, pretty simple. So connector 200 is the same thing. You only need 2 on your that you personally refer. So it's 100. It's 1 on your left team, 1 on your right team. And let me make sure that if you could please mute yourself because I hear mute. Okay, awesome. Sorry, Barbara. All right, cool. So you're gonna have a total of 4 on your left team, a total of 4 on your right team. 2 came from you. So the question is how do you get 4 total on your right, 4 total on your left, with only 2 coming from you? Simple. You're just going to teach them what you did to hit the first rank of inviter. You're going to duplicate the process. You're going to show them what you did. And then when they do what you did, now you are a connector 200. You're getting paid $50 a week, which is $200 a month. And then you get a one-time payout of $200 just as a bonus. Okay, pretty awesome. Now, connector 500. Oh, and by the way, I just want to shout out Mr. Chris from Vancouver for hitting connector 200. Absolutely awesome, bro. I'm not sure if this is your first time in network marketing, but you're absolutely killing it. So keep it up. I know that you're gonna be one of the top leaders here just based off of how you're moving and operating. And so big congratulations to you, bro. And then, so connector 500. So it's 2 on your 2 total that you personally refer. So 1 on your left, 1 on your right, same 2, your mom and your dad. And then what you're going to do is you're going to teach them what you did, and they're going to teach their people what they did. Now you have 10 on your left, 10 on your right. You're earning $125 a week, which is $500 a month. And then you get a one-time payout, a one-time bonus of $500 just for achieving the rank. Pretty awesome. So it's pretty simple. You just got to duplicate And shout out to Tui out of Australia for crushing Connector 500 in his first month and helping his team also start to rank up. So big congrats to you, Tui. Keep doing what you do, bro. And I know that you're going to be one of our top leaders. And so how do you get to the next rank? Connector 900, one on your left, one on your right. Same two. You just keep duplicating the process over and over and over, focusing on this one rank, right? Rome was built one brick at a time. If you want to hit the very last rank, you still need to focus on the very first rank. It's how you do anything is how you do everything. So you just need to focus on this and duplicate that process over and over and over. And then pretty soon you're a connector 900, 20 on your left, 20 on your right. You're earning $225 a week. That's $900 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $900. Now, one thing to note, let's say you didn't have the money to invest into the AI software. Now what you do is, let's say even at Connector 500, you're getting paid $500 a month, and then you get a one-time bonus of 500. That's $1,000 right there. That's $1,000. You take that, you throw it into the AI. Now, not only are you earning a residual income from the pay plan, but you're also earning passive income from the AI. So it's pretty sweet. And maybe you don't want to do it at that level. You could easily do it at Connector 900. You're earning about $1,000 at this rank. Okay, pretty awesome. So I'm not going to go so in depth on this plan, but you guys can kind of see, as you can tell at Connector 1500, it's basically the same thing. It just doubles. So 20 on your left, it goes to 40 on your right. 20 on your right, it goes to 40 on your right. But the one thing that changes is what is right here at the personal referrals. So you need 2 on your left, 2 on your right. So at first, for the first 4 ranks, you only needed 2, your mom and your dad. So for the 5th rank, you need 4. So it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, for example. And now you're getting paid $375 a week, which is $1,500 a month. And then you get a one-time bonus of $1,500. But the caveat here is that you need to hold this rank for 2 months straight. Pretty simple. I mean, you just continue to push past that limit. You know, once you hit Connector 1500, the goal would be to go to 3K and then so on and so forth. So same thing for a network of 3K, you're earning $3,000 a month. You need 4 total, 2 on your right, 2 on your left, 75 total on your left, 75 total on your right. You only brought 4, you're earning $3,000 a month, and then you get a one-time bonus of 3K. Awesome. 5K a month, 9K a month, 15K, 25, 50, 75, $100,000 a month. And then you just have to make sure that you're hitting these qualifications. Okay, it's pretty simple. So the goal for you watching this call, it could be completely different, right? You can go part-time with this. Maybe you just want to earn an extra $500 a month. Maybe you want to go full-time where you're earning $9,000 a month. Or maybe you want to go big time and you want to earn $100,000 a month. It's up to you, right? I've seen people earn millions and millions of dollars a month. One of my mentors, she was earning, I think, like $2 to $3 million every single month. You know, it's crazy what's possible in this industry. You just have to follow the system and to continue to do really the basics, right? It's doing the basics over and over and over again, right? If you want to be a master, it's not about learning all of the fancy tricks and doing ads and this and that. And that stuff might work, but it's about mastering the basics. Right? As you could tell, for the people that have been watching this, my presentation doesn't change up that much. It might be a little bit different here and there, but I just show the plan. I'm just showing the plan over and over and over and over and over and over. And what you lack in skill, you make up with hard work, right? Like I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the best looking guy. All I do is I work hard and I show the plan over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so that's all you got to do. Master the basics, master invitations, invite people to these calls, master how to communicate effectively, master really just being a good person, right? People are gonna feel you and they're gonna want to be a part of whatever it is that you're doing. So it's really just mastering the basics and continuing to help the newest person on your team over and over and over and over again. And pretty soon you're gonna be at the last rank, which is $4 million a month. Like it's not difficult, but we make it difficult because we think we need to change it up so much, right? So you just got to focus on inviter and however, wherever you want to go, we're here to help support you. One thing I will say is that we have a fourth way you're going to get paid. It's called the global pool bonus, and you get paid at speaker 25K. So what happens here is we take 1% of all the global sales in the company. So let's say it's $1 million. The 1% of the global sales is $1 million. We put it into a pool, and then we give each person at speaker 25K a share. So let's say there's 10 shares. So 10 shares divided by $1 million, that's $100,000 per share. If you get one share, it means that you get an extra 100,000 on top of the 25 grand you're making every month. Now, at Master 750K, you actually get a second share. So you get 100,000 times 2, so you get an extra 200,000 on top of the 750,000 that you're already earning every single month. Okay, very simple. We wanted to make it just, we wanted to make the price point as affordable as possible for everybody all around the world to be able to get in. Like I had a girl, she's in the Philippines, and she signed up right away. And from what I know, Philippines has like one of the lowest incomes. So even someone in the Philippines can come in, they can join, they can use the services, and they can create a residual income with us. And then it doesn't matter if you're in Brazil, in Europe, or Canada or the US, it does not matter. Everyone can be a part of this. And then we wanted to make the compensation plan as juicy as possible. So we pay out almost like 80% of all the profits to the partners like yourself. And then the other 20% is just to make sure that the company is actually healthy and can actually take on all of the financial responsibilities that it has, all the overhead. So you're at pre-launch, right? If you're watching this right now, you're at the very beginning of, I believe, and I know actually, I don't believe, I know a trillion, multi-trillion dollar company similar to Apple. And so when it comes to business, it's all about timing, timing, timing. And so let's take Apple, for example. Let's say you went to the very beginning when Apple was launching their IPO, right? And you invested $1,000, $10,000 into Apple stock. Where would your life be now? You'd be a multi-millionaire. And so that's the same thing here with Divinfi. You're at the very beginning of something that's going to revolutionize so many things. We're not even, if you think this is amazing, just wait till what we roll out next. Like the next phase is going to be crazy. And you want to get in before the next wave of leaders come in, so you can basically, you can be the person that invites them in, and let's say you invite someone that has a huge network of 1 million people, all that volume counts towards you. So you want to get in now before everybody knows about it. They say that it's really taking advantage of opportunities before they become apparent to the masses. Imagine the people that, for example, invested in NVIDIA, right? AI is huge now. I mean, nobody really knew about AI till a couple of years ago. But imagine the person that went and invested in NVIDIA stock, which is all about AI, back in 2000. They said that if you invested, I believe, $1,000 or $10,000 or something like that in 2000, that stock would be worth over $600 million if you had invested in NVIDIA. So that's where you're at. Now, Divinfi is more than just a financial system. It is a movement towards financial freedom and personal empowerment. So if you're ready to get started, if you're aligned, more importantly, yeah, if you're aligned with what we're doing, get back to the person that invited you and ask them for their unique link. That way they get credit. And I'm going to announce some exciting prizes, but just give me a moment. Someone's at the door. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna call. Okay. All right. Yeah. So sorry about that. So we have some awesome promotions that we are gonna be doing here. The promotion ends August the 18th. So ignore the date at the very bottom. We're gonna have to get that fixed. So August 18th is the end of the promotion. So if you come in and then you refer 10 people directly, you get a brand new GoPro. If you refer 20 directly, you get a brand new iPhone. And you refer 30, you get a brand new MacBook. So does not matter for any of the promotions. Anyone can win these prizes, even if there's 1,000 people that qualify. So pretty awesome. I'm personally going to go for the MacBook. I need one. It's been about 2 years. So now the last promotion is we're going to give away some free flights and free hotels. So if you hit the rank of Connector 1500, we're gonna get you a 3-day, 2-night stay at the event that we're having. And if you are a Connector 3000, you're gonna have we're gonna basically pay for your flight, we're gonna pay for your hotel, and then you're also gonna get VIP access to the event. So, like I said, even if there's 1,000 people that qualify, we're giving away 1,000 of these prizes. So I'm excited to see you guys at the event. And if you want to stay connected with all things Divinfi, scan the QR code below. We have our Telegram. That's probably the best place to start. And our Facebook group and our Instagram. Those are probably the best bets right there. And what I'll do now is I'll open it up for question and answer. And we'll make sure that you guys have clarity on everything so you can make a decision. Oh, wow, it got dark. Chris, Rod, Tui, Barbara, Gilbert, Janet, Miles, Kareen, Eric. Any questions? So what I will say is it's great that you guys are hopping on these calls and it's great to stay around the fire, but it's time to start inviting people every single call, right? So what I would suggest if you really want to take this serious, right? Because you can treat this like a hobby. And if you do, that's fine. You're going to get paid like a hobby. Or you could treat this like a business. Okay. You want to treat this like a business, you're going to get paid like a business. So the minimum I would suggest is write out a list of people. Let's say 20 people. Okay. You can start off with that. Right now, I add to my list every single day. I'm inviting people, I'm doing meetings with them, multiple meetings every single day on top of these couple of meetings that I do for you guys. And you want to minimum just invite them to these calls. You can also do 3-way calls with me. I'm happy to help you with explaining the system and everything. And so it's great that you're on here, but you want to make sure that you're inviting people to these calls every day. You know, imagine inviting at least one person a day for 30 days, right? That's 30 new prospects in a month. Okay, 30 times 12. Is the back office ready to go and fully functioning? The back office is ready. I think we're waiting on the merchant to to be integrated because we got a new global merchant because we were having some issues accepting payments from all over. So I'll have to check on that tonight. But the back office is just it's just to track, right? Like everything works. There's nothing that's the AI is not going to be in there. Don's process is not going to be in there. So it's just for tracking purposes. And we're going to have a brand new back office rolling out in the next like 30 to 45 days. So the back office is really primarily just for tracking purposes of your genealogy, for your link, and so on and so forth. But like, for example, Chris, I just want to shout out Chris because even though even the merchant hasn't been fully functioning, he's been still signing people up every day. Like yesterday, he signed up 2 guys. Today, another person. He's using the crypto payment. So there's no excuses, right? Like if you want to build this, we'll build it. Like obviously it's easier to accept cards, but this right here, this phase right here is for the people that are going to be the trailblazers. So, make a commitment, make a decision that you're going to do this and you're going to go all in and leave all the excuses behind. And I'm saying this even to myself because there's been times where I saw the merchant wasn't working and I'm like waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm like, you know what? Screw that. I can use crypto. So we are going to be updating a lot of different things here, like I said, in the next 30, 45 days. So just make a decision and then reach out to the person that sponsored you so that way we can get you rolling. And if they're not really active or if they're busy, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to support. So yeah, like I said, and also let me drop something that way you guys can all have this. It's a launch document that I created. One moment. Divinfi launch doc. Okay, so what you guys this will give you some clarity on the next steps if you don't have clarity yet. Opt in here to this link that I just put in the chat. Opt in, put your name, your email, so on and so forth. And then you'll get an email with step 1, step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just follow that. And that will give you a clear game plan of what to do next. And so if you don't get it in your inbox, check your spam. I have been having some deliverability issues. So yeah, that should wrap it up. If you guys don't have any questions, we'll have another call here at 5 a.m. Dubai time. Make sure that you're inviting some people, even just one person, right? Just keep it simple. Even if you're just inviting one person a day for 30 days, right? Like let's look at that number. So 30 times 12, that's 360 new prospects. Even if you're only getting, let's say 10 of those sign up, that's 10 new prospects, 10 new people on your team that you personally enrolled a year. And then teaching them to do the same thing, it starts to multiply and starts to compound. So just keep it simple. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. And if you have any concerns or anything, just reach out. We'll make sure that you get those concerns situated. So anyways, guys, appreciate you guys for being here every day, your dedication. And let's take it to the moon and beyond, as Tui would say. All right, everybody. Infinite love. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, brother.